One of the biggest questions when creating a valuable product like an online course is, what topic should I produce this on? If you're an expert, which you probably are in your particular area, then potentially you could draw from a huge range of topics. And the tendency is for experts or people who've been working in a certain industry or area for a long time to try to teach everything. There's no need to do this. This is something you can look at doing later in your continuity course, in your membership site. But for right now, we need to kind of nail it down to a core course, a core offering that's teaching the really important stuff within your particular niche, and not overwhelming our buyers, because we actually want them to get through the course, to find the value from the course, and then move on to buy more expensive products from you in the future. So we need to really nail down on what it is our audience wants, what it is that they're struggling with, what it is we can really help them with. Now remember, these people who have come to you, they've been attracted to you because you have shown expertise and you've taught and you've produced content and value in a particular area. So this makes it already a lot easier. We can just look back and see what kind of content was popular, both in Facebook, on your Facebook page, and in your group. What got the most engagement? What caused the most discussion? What was controversial? What was there a lot of confusion about? These are great topics. And we can look back in our data using page insights in Facebook in order to find out what the most kind of popular and the most contentious topics were within our community. So this is a great way to start. But the best way, and this is a luxury you have that many content producers do not, is you have a community. You have a community of audience members and tribe members who you can ask. You can just say, hey, I'm looking to put together a video training package. Obviously, you know the kind of things that I do. What are the key things you'd like to learn to do what I do? You just be honest about it. You say, I'm creating this and I'm looking for information about how to make this as valuable for you as possible. And I think that honesty, well, I know that honesty, I've done this before, I know this honesty is very appreciated, and people will chime in and say, oh, this area in particular is a huge pain, I'd really like to know how you tackle this, or I've really been having problems in this area, and any kind of advice would help. So you can ask just an informal question. Maybe it's a video where you say, hey, I need your help. I'm putting together this course and I would love to know what kind of things you want me to talk about. So something very simple like that. It can be a video, it could be text in your group and your page. Or you can set up something called a Facebook poll, where you actually list a number of topics and you get people to vote on them. What I would recommend is initially you do the big open one where you say, hey, I'm doing this course and I'd love to know what topics you want me to discuss. Then look for commonalities in the answers. There's going to be certain topics that are going to come up again and again. Take those ones, 3, 4, 5 of them, and put them in a Facebook poll, and then post that poll saying, thank you so much for the feedback. It's been really amazing. We've narrowed it down to 3 or 5 different points, and I just want to get like a final tally to see how I can really help you the most by creating this course. And then you post the poll and see what comes out on top. Maybe the top 1, 2, or 3 can be combined into one course. That's fine. Or if they're totally disparate, let's say you're doing property and one is about building properties and one is about buy-to-let, so buying and renting them out instead of building them yourself. And these are 2 very different areas, so you might think, okay, well, this one's very popular, I'll do this for now, and then I'll bookmark this one and come back to it later. So you get a lot of information just by asking. You just ask your community, which is very simple. If you're still really stuck, go and have a look at Udemy. That's udemy.com. We used it in the research phase earlier on in business. Go and see what the most popular courses in your niche are already. Now, these people are not going to be your competitors because we won't be posting to Udemy. The reason we don't is because Udemy deep discounts video courses all the time. So if you put something on for $150, people are going to be buying it at $9 or $15 most of the time, and you have no control over that promotion. But we can go and see what kind of content is really popular there and use that to inspire us in creating our own courses. So this mix of asking our audience and tribe, who are, remember, the people who will be purchasing from us, plus a bit of external research through Udemy to get the creative juices flowing, should help you to start to hone in. Now, people are following you because you are an expert in their eyes in this particular field. You know this niche, you've been teaching them. So most of the time, they're going to be wondering how to become like you, how to do what you do, how to learn what you learned, how to have the skills that you have. Because we've been basing this on personal brand, a lot of it's going to be about they're at A and you're at B. How do they get from A to B? And most of your course will probably be following those lines. You use the research above in order to kind of hone in on what part of that process they're most interested in. But ultimately, you are already in a great position because you're here, you're at B, they're at A, and you just need to help them get to where you are. And that's quite easy because you've already done it. You have the personal experience, you have the stories, you have the failures, you have the successes that you can share with them, and you can interweave into the course content itself. So ultimately, we're going to be looking at a course which is, I'm at B, you're at A. How do I bring you to where I am now? What are the steps for doing that? And the steps, normally you'd want 3 to 5 ideally. Any more than that and it's getting a bit convoluted, and I would suggest you break it down a bit. Those steps are going to become your modules. So let's use an example. If we're doing it in property, it might be, okay, first I had to learn how to raise money. Second, I had to learn how to find good deals. Third, I had to tie that all together and make sure the deal got completed. They could be the 3 steps, for example, that you took in your personal journey. They would become modules 1, 2, and 3. And obviously this has to line up with what you've been told your audience members are interested in. But they're already going to be interested in what you do because they're already following you, if you follow. Okay, so those would be your module titles. Your modules. From there, making module titles is quite simple because it's going to be how to do XYZ, because you know the steps. Or it could even be how I learned to raise money, how I learned to source property deals, depending on how much you want to make it about yourself. Obviously, you want your personal experience and your personal story to be part of their journey, but this is their journey, so it's more about how they can learn from you to replicate what you did successfully. So right now, go ahead, go and ask in your community, go and ask in your tribe what kind of things people want to know about, what would they be interested in watching a course about. You can actually use this to start pre-selling as well, because you are in effect saying, hey, I'm making a course. Obviously these people are who are going to be purchasing from you, so you can start to build up hype as well as getting very useful information from them. So go ahead and do that now. Go and talk to them, see what they want, go and check out Udemy, start to think about your personal journey and how you would get people to where you are now, and then you can start to outline the question and answer that your course are providing. The how do I do this? This is how you do it. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and we'll be moving ahead with the course outline in the next video.